What is going on, everybody? It's Dr. Luigi, and today I'm sharing with you the new update for MTS V15, all my various packs. And for those of you who aren't keeping track at home, that's the Blackthorn Civilian Pack, Blackthorn Military Pack, UNU Parts Pack, MTS Air Cooled Pack, Red Cliff Republic Pack, and the Iconic Vehicles Pack. The Iconic Vehicles Pack is not receiving an update this cycle, but every other pack is. So that's what this video is all about. So first off, I would like to apologize for the weird audio. My headset that I've had since 2013, so it's like 7 years, it crapped out. The speaker's blue and the mic isn't working. As a good soldier, I'll make a memorial video, so you can keep an eye out for that. And another thing you can keep an eye on my channel is I recently passed 500 subscribers, so I will be doing a 500 subscriber special. So thank you all for subscribing, and let's just jump right into this video. So the first pack I'll go over that updated is the UNU Parts pack. So the UNU Parts and Blackthorn packs updated a few days ago for V15, and then my other packs are updating today as of recording this video. So the new UNU packs, I have the changelog right here because there's a lot that has been added. So these are the new parts for the two updates, the one that was on the 15th and the update for today. So the new parts pack adds auxiliary power unit, also known as an APU. This is really meant for the Golden Airport pack. So this is a turbine engine that goes in the back of the airplane and provides charge. That way you don't kill the battery starting up turbines. I also made turbine engines, slash jet engines, a little easier to start, so it shouldn't be too insane. I also added a propeller and an aircraft engine or airship engine. The airship. So, and I also fully released the airships. This is actually released, so this is the control car. I've done a video on this before, but it is now released. It doesn't fly yet with current MTS. The physics still need to be added, but it does fly in my MTS custom mod. I made the physics, so if you're a Patreon, then you have access to that dev file, and you'll be able to fly around an airship, but only if you're a patron on Patreon. So go support my Patreon. So yeah, moving on, I guess into the Blackthorn pack. There are a few new vehicles, so the airship is one of them. I also updated my Flans mod pack. So if you go over to Flans mod vehicles, there are all of these new vehicles. They have the 2.0 icons, the 2.0 textures, and all the newest vehicles, including the wagon, which the wagon is a new vehicle that was added this update. So here it is for MTS. Very styling. The wagon, being a mid-tier vehicle, comes in 8 color variations. 3 of them are solid colors, and 5 of them have this lovely wood paneling. There's also a police version and a medic version, basically an ambulance version, but I couldn't fit an ambulance on the side, so it's the Blackthorn Medical Department. And in the back, there will be a stretcher thing for the medic. And the doors, there's the cool back door, which I think actually looks really neat because it has all that decoration. Unfortunately, the text doesn't rotate with the door. That's impossible to do with MTS, at least with my knowledge. So Flans mod pack, a bunch of new vehicles, all nice, updated, and pretty. So if you use Flans mod, you can now rest easy knowing that there's no Blackthorn civilian content that exists in MTS, but not Flans mod, except for the airship. His airships aren't really possible with Flans mod. I might make it a VTOL / helicopter type thing. We'll see what happens. But yeah, Flans mod. It's all Gucci. So then moving on into the military pack. So yeah, that's everything for the civilian pack. Oh, I also updated Connie's van texture, but that's just a texture update. Oh, this is the newest thing. This is the reason why I'm actually making this video. is I added this scooter to the Blackthorn Civilian pack, so you can add a really neat bumper sticker to the side there. And because I added this scooter, I also added 3 new parts to the new parts pack. So there's a small little engine, so this is an I1 motorcycle engine, and there's a motorcycle seat, and a moped wheel. And because of MTS's new physics system, this thing works great. I mean, the wheels are really small, so it doesn't climb that well, but it definitely, it looks pretty fly. And so everything's animated, so you have the little brakes, the little gear selector wheel there, and then, of course, the throttle. Oh, that's the brake. Yeah, you have the throttle to go, and then a kickstand for when you put on the parking brake. So yeah, it's a cute little scooter. The engine goes in the side here. And yeah, it's just super cute and adorable. I'm really fond of it. Alright, so that means I can now move on to the military pack. And so you might recognize this vehicle. This is the Unu Wolf, aka not a Jeep. I wasn't really pleased with how this Wolf turned out. I mean, I liked it at the time, but there's a few choices that I made. For example, I don't really like how this windshield is. I don't like this low-res texture. I don't really like how this is curved at the front. And when I made it so this opened, the way I did it was I copied the hood pieces, I deleted the rest of the model, and then exported just the hood as an OBJ, and then added it to the model in Blender. Then I accidentally saved, and because this is the only vehicle that I made that doesn't have a Flans mod version, I didn't have a backup. So I basically accidentally deleted this. But I deleted it in the toolbox, so I didn't have a backup. So it was a sad day, so I remade it, which I wanted to do anyway, just because, like I said, I didn't really like some of the choices I made there. So I redid this little cowling area, so the fender thing comes down a little flat there, and the indent. I redid the windshield, and the frame and a lot of the main core parts are pretty much identical to this. The tailpipe is a little different. I made a full res logo and added a spare tire, smaller taillights, etc. But I remodeled this. The reason I remodeled this, in addition to actually having a Jeep model and the fact that I didn't like that one, is so I can add one of the new features for the military pack. And so both Jeeps are available. There's the Wolf, and then this is the Wolf MK2. And one of the new features that I added to the military pack are these canvas parts. So now you can have your normal Jeep, you can put a canvas roof on it, and have a roof for your Jeep. So I think this looks really neat, and it's definitely a good way to roll up to parties and make sure that people are obeying Imperial laws. So of course there is a canvas top for each camo variant of the Jeep. Excuse me. And so there's also canvas tops for the Mule, which got its own little update. Now, one thing that I think is really neat is that I continue to update the Mule. This is I think the oldest Unu model. I first made this in 2014, so I kind of love that I'm still adding stuff to it in 2019. So the way the Mule changed is I took out the bed system. It was just kind of a clusterfuck, and I wasn't, there were way too many beds. It was clogging up the military inventory. So now the Mule just has this one bed, which in the old system was the bed 4, and it has the rings on top and the stake side and all that. So I think this is pretty neat. I think this will work well as just the universal bed. And so here are the seats. They use bus seats, and you can add them in just like bus and MTS, and you can sit in the back. You can't put cargo in here, and I forgot to add seat hardware, so that'll come in another update. So in order to add cargo to this vehicle, I made another trailer. So this is the Unu Mule trailer. There's of course one for every camo variant. And this acts as the cargo for this vehicle. So there's a bunch of crates and some guns, and it has the same bed as this, except it's one shorter. you want to access the inventory for this crate, you have to click the trailer hitch. And then there's all the stuff. Then both of these have their own canvas tops. So there's the one for the mule, and here's the one for the trailer. And just like all the trailers, it's kind of just tied to the steering. So it's not the most realistic trailer. I am going to work on a custom animation system, but I think it looks pretty cool. I think the trailer's pretty cute with how the wheels are spaced out. And then as for clusterfuck systems regarding the mule, in addition to the bed, the rear axle's a bit of a kind of a messy system, just because, you know, having 3 different rear axles, the half track and all that. It's not as bad because it's not a different camo variant, but I might decide to rethink the rear axle system for the mule, just because it's also kind of confusing for people. We'll see what happens with that. So that is the wheeled vehicles for the military pack that I added, but I also added 2 treaded vehicles. So this is the first one. It's a missile launcher. I need to fix the rams. They don't quite line up right. But, you know, new tread pieces for both the Slug and the Panther. So this is, of course, a railgun tank. Just the very cool railgun. And it's sort of stylized to go with the railgun guns that are back here. These guns are actually in the Blackthorn military pack for Flans mod, so I highly recommend checking that out. But all in all, I think these both make good additions to MTS and the Blackthorn military pack. So the Panther is one that I'm pretty proud of. It definitely works well, and once MTS adds rotatable guns and adds my tread physics, it will definitely be very nice. So my tread physics do work, so hopefully they'll be added to MTS shortly. I do need to increase the gear ratio because this thing is just too slow, or decrease it, or decrease the weight, or do something so this thing isn't so darn slow. So yeah, I think that's everything for the Blackthorn military pack. All the vehicles, of course, come in the 4 camo variants, and then these are the canvas pieces that each also come in 4 camo variants. These are canvas pieces. Alright, so then that leads us down into the air-cooled pack, which nothing changed except I added MTS version 15 features. They're all gasoline engines, so you know, it works just like everything else. You know, I don't think I added doors, so doors still don't do anything, but you know, it's still the air-cooled pack. And then finally, the Red Cliff pack. So this is, you know, another pack that I made, and it got a V15 update, which adds the fuel types to the engines, and I also made the gun in the back an actual gun. I also added parameters so that when MTS does add rotatable guns, that gun will be able to rotate. So for now, you can only shoot people that are facing directly behind you, which is unfortunate, but that's what we've got. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It's definitely nice to keep everyone updated on to what I'm doing, and I hope you definitely enjoy the vehicles. The scooter is definitely a fun one. So just, you know, as a reminder, I do have a Patreon if you want to support my model making, my YouTube tutorials that I totally need to get back into making, and all the other stuff I do. Patreon's a great way to support me. And as a perk you get is you get early access to my packs. So this scooter, my Patreon supporters had access to it the past couple days. I kind of updated pretty quickly because I accidentally spoiled the scooter, and so I don't want other people stealing my idea and making motorcycles before I can release my scooter. So I'm just gonna go ahead and release it earlier than I expected. I wanted to add some other cool things to my pack in the next update, but those cool things will be accessible to my Patreon supporters early, as well as you'll be able to actually use the airships and tanks. So the airship, as you see hovering ominously overhead, is available. And if you, as a Patreon, for $10 or over, you even get an NPC little stuffed animal thing that you could put in any of my seats in my mod pack. So it's definitely, or my content pack. So definitely, check it out if you want to. I always appreciate that. I've been doing this for a long time and don't make too much money from it, but it's always nice to have some support. So I hope you enjoy these new content packs. Definitely, this scooter, getting these handles taken care of, was a big pain in the butt because of how all of my models I set up for Flange mod. So the way Flange mod has things rotated makes it kind of difficult to have the sub-rotations of the brakes and the throttle. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed my mod packs. Hope I didn't ramble on too long, and I'll see you next time. The next video is probably going to be either 500 subscriber special or memorial for my headphones. See you then.